Sun source, Mercury messages, sixth house, sustainability. This is talking about what is being shown now is the conflict in, God, I'm losing my train of thought. What's being shown to everybody right now is conflicting messages. These conflicting messages that each human interaction is. I'm trying to explain this. It's hard for me to do this. I gotta calm down because the information is so, I can't explain it. One day I will. It's almost like everybody's forced to look at their ego and understand their ego when it meets another person's ego. These relationships have to be evaluated because it's going to depend whether or not you want to take the lesson, whether you want to relate to that thing, person, place, or thing. I don't feel like I explained that good enough. We'll back. So what's being shown to everybody so they can understand what is happening to them is that there is the communication as far as your mental health is concerned is what is being looked at right now. How you react and respond, how the makeup of you. Now this is just, now I'm going to speed through it kind of because now I can go a little faster. It was just, that download was crazy. There's going to be people that want to bring up the past, and that's going to be an issue. And this is how you know that you're stepping into a new reality. It's hard to alter. It's hard to change if you are tied to the past. You can never do both. It's easy, but I don't think it's easy to every person. I can't say that because I feel so constricted in my chest. But it's like, if you're trying to change, you have to change your environment. And that's becoming more and more understanding to everybody. And sometimes the past can have deeper relationships, like a job that you thought you would have a career at, or your family. You think that family, people think that there's a forever, and that's not the case. So now people are starting to separate from these people that clearly, you're going to respect more the fact that there's some people that want to remain where they are because they don't want to do the healing. But that is it's going to be a conflict if you stay around those people. That's how it's always been. It's just that now people are starting to become aware of it. They're starting to become much more sensitive to you. I don't even know how to explain the sun as a feeling. Give me 1 second. It's like when somebody is comfortable around you and they appreciate how you truly are. You don't have to be a certain way. You can be comfortable being you around certain people. This is basically saying that people have the wrong audience and they starting to realize it. Descendant invitation. So that's saying all the way up to this point, I like to just say a flip. There's been a flip in the universe, right? So everything is now opposite. So how you used to go about getting things, how you used to do things, you're doing the opposite now. It's almost like everybody's forced to do their shadow work because those are the encounters that they're going to get. If you have mostly, it's going to kind of push you out your comfort zone to kind of get you to heal faster. That's the whole idea. The whole idea. This is just how I read cards, and I read the message real fast. But that's what it's saying. They're trying to, that's the process. But processes are not fast. I mean, it can be very comfortable. It can be fast if you know yourself, right? So you have to get your birth chart because everybody is becoming more aware. The sun is going to make you aware. This is expressive. The moon is the opposite. The moon is it's like a portal. Somebody got to go in there and figure out things. When it's released, the sun is going to show what the dominant trait is instead of swimming through a bunch of, different emotions trying to figure out which one is the one that will make you most comfortable. I really don't want to say that, but it's allowing you to be yourself instead of hiding who you are, of course, but it goes even deeper than that. I just can't get the words for it. It's like I don't understand why people want to hide this from themselves. I think that's why I'm having such a hard lesson from it, even though I'm learning the same lesson. Maybe if I could explain a scenario where I have it would make it a little bit better. So I push everybody to be their best self, but that's uncomfortable for me. But what happens is over time, the relationship flips back onto me to help me, if that makes sense. But I always try to, I'm going to be more selective of who I take on now because of this discernment. Whatever lesson you were learning, like I said, how you used to be, whatever you were learning, it's like you're going to grow up from that phase. You're going to grow up from that phase and you're going to be kind of responsible. You're going to take more accountability, more so because you're trying to protect your energy. Okay? That's going to be kind of first. But secondly, it's protecting your energy. Hold on. It's protecting your energy and I hate when I get stuck. It's so hard to find the words. Protecting your energy. I don't know. It's like instead of showing yourself, it's like people want attention, but now instead of them wanting that attention and kind of going into a recklessly, protection is going to be on your first. It's going to be your top priority. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to, if awareness is just going to become so much greater. So it says moon perception, Saturn structure. This is talking about a portal, and this one is talking about a cage. It's like, it's saying something about emotions are going to be highlighted as far as any emotion that's been kind of put in the cage. We repeating the message over and over again, but maybe people need to hear it from different angles. But there's emotions that's trapped and repressed feelings. Everybody's becoming more aware because we have alternative medicines and therapies now instead of you just going to the doctor, because it's energetic ways to get rid of all of this stuff. The body doesn't need to be opened up at all. It actually can repair itself. And yeah, that's the whole yeah. So anyway, this has been imposed on. Saturn rules structure. Saturn is the government. Okay, it's it's the government, but the government can also be parents. Anybody that is a ruler over your decisions. Okay, anybody that's been a ruler over your decisions, big, small, that you have used to make yourself restrict yourself with, you're going to be looking at those and how they feel and kind of breaking loose from them. It's like if analogy I give is if somebody say you got to be on your knees to pray to God. So if you're falling off a cliff, you think he'll still hear you. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's some things that work for you. Maybe going to church when you grew up but not going to church now. It's like traditions, holidays, just whatever it is that you don't feel like doing, you're going to stop making excuses for it, because I always say that people are schizophrenic outwardly, the majority of the population. The ones that's completely sane is some, but you know, that are actually harmful to their self, but they have a reality that you can't see because your conscious is not as great as theirs to be able to see things that you would think is invisible, for instance. But then you got outward schizophrenics that's like, they won't wait for their mother, they won't wait for their girlfriend, they won't wait at work, that's a schizophrenic. You should be one person. Like, when I see people morph into people constantly throughout the day, it's like, whoo, let me tell you something, it's exhausting. That's why I don't do it. Whoo, okay. Yeah, so we already said that. We said that it's going to be healing. Of course, you understand when you heal restricted emotions, especially repressed ones, it's so painful. It's so painful. But you can partner up with people. Now, this is the advanced stage. Just something that kind of have to be taught, because the odds of you running into a person that you can actually trust everybody is going to be skeptical now. They're going to not be as trusting. So look at that, dignified. It's going to make you, this is going to make everybody such a good person. But where was I at? Gosh, I lost it. I wish I can get that back. I said something about a cage. It would be uncomfortable healing, shadow work. So yeah, that's what shadow work is. That's something I specialize in. Shadow work is harder for people that breaking generational curses. Because, I mean, well, technically, I think that they should be at the end of their journey now. But it is extremely painful. It's excruciating, and people don't realize that. Everybody wants to be this special thing. And Lord knows if they went through it, you wouldn't make it. That's a fact. Most people take themselves out. Let me see. Okay, so it says dignified. Sorry. Dignified strength. So the healing process that you saw, this card was the last one that says dignified strength. When you get here, when you start to kind of, this is talking about, one of my cards is not supposed to be flipped upside down. None of my cards are flipped upside down except a couple of decks. This change that's going to take place, when a change, a shift, or anything is changing, this is happening at a collective level, okay? So you need to be in the state of flow, or it can be very, very painful, because you're still going to be trying to use past stuff that you used before to operate in a completely new scenario environment. And that right there will put you in the wrong, it'll put you in the wrong place at the wrong time on a certain timeline and get you caught up in the reality that you stuck in the past. Oh, damn. Oh, obviously my body is like, oh my God, it was experiencing it all over again. Anyway, you want to be in a state of flow. The state of flow is very hard for people because people don't know how to relax and they're stressed. If you are not in a state of flow, it can be many, many mishaps. Downloads, for instance, trying to operate in the 3D world and getting downloads at the time while everything is shifting can really be very hard for people, because they have information that they need to sort out so that they can shift, and they've been holding that and not actually doing it so they can get it out of their computer, their brain, and then they get new downloads on top of that. This will drive you insane. I'm talking about, for real, you gone, like dementia gone, Alzheimer's gone. You have left your body. You left your body because all of these changes are stuck inside the brain and none of them have been fulfilled. When it comes to the human body, the last thing you get is an autoimmune disease, because the body does not want to attack itself. It wants it to go where the soul is telling it to go. So they can only get you to listen through different things outside your environment. They start outside until you can slowly pick it up. But once it gets internal, where you just like not gonna change your ways, the body will get an autoimmune disease and start killing the body. So it can come back in again, of course. You know, I mean, well, it used to come back in. I don't think that's allowed no more, but I don't know. We'll see. I have no idea. This will change, being in a state of flow. Okay, this card right here is talking about, I'm reading the whole thing, but whatever. Because I only got one card out. This is talking about the universe. The universe is spying on people, and people need to know that. Well, I shouldn't say spying. They're not spying. You're being watched is the correct thing to say. You're being watched, and you have to govern yourself. You get what I'm saying? That's why these changes, that's why this card goes together. When a shift is taking place, if you still doing the opposite behavior during the shift, you get police, but you get police from the first to 5D, which is the universe. That's Jupiter. And then we have the 3D, which is Saturn. Saturn is jails, cops, judges. But up there in the universe, they rule over that sector. So they put people in place of where they need to be at a certain time to, you know, hand the justice down here. It's just that the system has gotten so corrupt that they got to check them now. So pretty much that's what Judgment Day and all that stuff is. Okay, 1 second, my daughter needs my help.